everyone, this is Chris Keys for PremierGuitar.com, hanging out at the Ryman, Nashville, Tennessee, with my good friend Mike. Mike, how you doing?
I'm great, Chris. How you doing, man?
Very well.
Thanks for having
Mike
me.
Mike is part of Russian Circles, one of the three members of Russian Circles. He's going to talk to us about his gear. First up is this Les Paul Custom. Let's talk about this.
This is an 85 Custom I picked up at a friend's shop in Chicago, rock and roll vintage, cool spot. One of those guitars that the minute you pick it up, it starts kind of vibing with you, and next thing you know, it's a really resonant guitar, so you feel it resonate through your body, and once you start playing it, it's hard to switch back to others. So this has been my main guitar since picking that up a few years ago.
And pickups?
I recently became a fan of the Lawler Imperials. I have the Imperial high wound in this guy, and then the neck is a standard Imperial. I've recorded last year or so, and I used this guitar, which had those Tim Shaw pickups naturally. It just sounded so warm with the lower output pickups that I changed all my pickups out of the high gain market and down to just vintage style, and I'm really happy with it.
Sorry to interrupt, but the one thing I always appreciate about your tone live and in the recording is that there's clarity to it. You've always taken an approach to that, whether it's the pickups, your gear, pedals, or amps, that you've always wanted it to be really, while there's a lot going on with your songs where you're looping stuff and building soundscapes, you're always able to hear note definition. Cool. And that's definitely a thing that when I think of Mike Sullivan Russian Circles, that's what I think.
Oh, cool, thanks, man. That's the name of the game, is balancing clarity with warmth. So it's finding that the little channels in there where the guitar can sit and you can still hear arpeggios and notes in the chord, not just a barrage of noise coming at you, which can easily happen, especially with looping. You want to have notes sit in the right place.
And so this one has taken place. I know that you were a big fan of the 57 custom reissues.
Yeah.
So those ones are just resting right now?
Yeah, I love those. I don't know if it's the maple top on this or what it is, but this one actually sounds better. Whereas that's all one slab body mahogany. This one just happens to, I don't know, have a little more top end, probably from the maple, but it's a little lighter too, and just feels more comfortable playing live. And
there's what about strings? What do you run for string gauge?
I use those NY XLs, the D'Addarios, 11 to 56 on this guitar. Are you guys still, or are you tuning to a B still? It's kind of a weird mixture. Right now, this is usually a DADGAD variant, where it'd be like C sharp, G sharp, D, G, A, C sharp. And then occasionally I'll use the drop pedal, the Digitech drop, to shift the whole guitar down one full step. So it ends up being B, then F sharp, respectively, and C, and so on. But yeah, so this one usually hangs around in the C sharp.
Kind of the ballpark.
Yeah, exactly. They're all, these poor guys, I put them all over the place. So.
And picks, got one right here. Is it one that you prefer, or is it just one you pick up?
Yeah, I love these actually. It's the Jazz 3, the Dunlops.
Super small.
Yeah, I got like a Andy Timmons pedal a few years ago, and it came with one of these little guys in there.
Oh, really?
And I was like, what? How do you use this thing? And I fell in love with it just for fast tremolo picking and really going for it. It's way more ergonomic. So this is the carbon. If we're getting tech talk, let's tech talk.
Let's do it.
Okay. This is carbon fiber, and it's got the max grip situation happening where you can't drop this thing.
You're shredding.
Yeah. I don't move more than a foot the whole night, but say I move 2 feet, I wouldn't drop it. I feel safe with this guy. But it's a cool pick. I like having grip on there. So this.
And you like the material, and because different, people overlook pick in the pick materials that they can use.
Totally,
so
and especially recording under the microscope, each different pick does sound differently. This one, I'm cool with the way this one sounds. So yeah, I love this thing though.
And let's move over this one in the shadows. Is this a backup, or is this tuned to something different?
It's tuned to something different. This tour, each tour guitars get thrown into different tunings depending on what's the set. This is actually set to similar to DADGAD with a drop A, so A, A, D, G, A, D.
And is that more for like older stuff or stuff off Guidance and like Memorial? Yeah,
one song off Guidance for playing this tour is that's set up for Africa.
Okay.
That's an A, so that's just grab that guy for that one. And yeah, it's similar pickups. It doesn't have Lawlers, it has the original Tim Shaws, but I prefer the Lawlers, but again, for this tour, it's just smash and grab. You don't know what, you know, until like the day or two before tour. What am I going to grab for this outing here? But that's a great guitar. It's an 81, I believe.